giant Peter Parker. Great, it's just some random guy.
Finally, months of waiting. Because it's a pre-order, but also because everybody else, hi Cora, everybody else was getting theirs way before me. You're gonna have to chill out, Cat, and not mess with all my lighting and stuff. So we have one of the most exciting figures of the year for me, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That's my Spider-Man. And not because he's the best Spider-Man out of all three of them, because Andrew Garfield did a great job, but because countless times I've been told that I look like Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. It's the black frame glasses. It's more common in person. Let's just relish in this moment that we finally get to open this up and look at Spider-Man. And I hope that's what's in the box, because this is a big build-up for it to be something else. It's so much smaller than what I thought it was gonna be. It's so itty bitty, but I'm pretty sure it's packed with stuff. I mean, you can already see some accessories and things going on in there. So how is it that they managed to build this great figure, potentially, and put it in such a small box? I mean, so many of these other brands that we deal with, the boxes are massive. Even Hasbro, I would say, is ultimately you get more box and they don't give you accessories. So let's just get into what's going on here. We got this authentication thing here, right? So Tamashii Nations and all of these logos in English and in Japanese. And obviously it's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That is specifically what they're calling this one for Tobey Maguire. And it comes from No Way Home. It's not based on the original movies, it's based on the new one. So there's some minor changes with the character, like his hair and stuff, and he looks a little bit older, but you can see in there pointing fingers, and that is great. That means they're playing up the idea that if you get all three of these figures, you do the whole the Spider-Man meme. You know, packages are often pretty boring. Not a lot for us English only speaking folks, but if you know some Japanese, you get to enjoy all of this stuff. Open it. How long has this video been already? Let's just get into it, right? That's what we're here for. Some people would say that they clicked on the video to look at the figure, not to hear me ramble. Sleeve is just a piece of gray. We have a little paper insert that talks about, see, this is the nice thing about Japanese brands. They like to put all this stuff in here and tell you that you can swap these things out. Cool beans and the webbies. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Obviously the silver thing, no big deal. Don't need the sleeve. Instructions, don't need no instructions to know how to rock. We've got plastic shell clam sticky thing. That's the proper term for that. So looking at him in the plastic, very lovely Tobey Maguire. I don't know what has happened here, and it kind of looks like he has no eyebrows, which is even creepier. So I like this is no bueno, but hello, you're Tobey Maguire. Look at all these splooge stuff. You got all these hands, and then you got his mask off. Hey, you know what? Love it. Shadoink. Shadoink. And there we go. This little plastic skirt thing in there, which also seems to be sometimes the case for some Japanese brands to protect their goods that become your goods. The head's looking cool, man. All right, let's just kind of push all that off to the side. We don't want to look at it right now. We're gonna do this accessory time. So we've got some hands, little pointy fingers, which are really only good for the memes. Then you got his web shooting hands, left and right. Open hands, left and right. Let's get his thumb sticking out. That's a swinging hand, that's not a fist. So you got a web swinging, gripping hand. And then you've got this kind of open hand, which is probably designed for holding the mask. So you got a left and a right, so you can have him holding his mask. The weird looking sculpt that just clearly is not him. I don't know what the deal is with that. And then you got this beautiful Tobey Maguire looking face, an active shooty webby thing for both sides if you want it. And you got these little ones. So biggies and little wees. There he is. Oh, another swingy hand. 2 swingy hands. I should just do this better. What happened to the old ways I used to do it, where it's like, whatever, crazy edits, now the edits are gone? Is that a bad thing? You tell me. Right off the bat, looking kind of frumpy. And he doesn't look as fit as he used to be. Is that just to get the sculpt to work? The articulation stuff? But, my God, look at, what is this? What is this? He's got, I don't quite understand. This is not a great looking shape. That is not very Spider-Man looking. It looks okay from the front, and I'm sure when you get some like crazy pose, which is super easy to do, man. It's like magic. Buttery, smooth joints, man. This is great. So yeah, it's a Spider-Man. You're not gonna have him standing up looking like a dum-dum. This is Spider-Man. It's gotta be like hanging, swinging, mounted on something, doing his little Spidey boy things. Oh my goodness. I love how easy it is to just kind of like, just fumble it up in your hands. Look at that. Wow. I'm honestly super impressed with how easy that is to pose things, and it doesn't feel delicate or anything, and maybe the wrists are because they're those like classic little ball joints. So the advantage of the ball joint like that is that you can have the wrist angle in whatever possible way you would want. But yeah, obviously they can look a little strange, but it's very comfortable, if that makes sense, to articulate. So I'm really enjoying that. So let's look at these little face sculpts up close, because obviously this one, right? Looking wonderful. It's so good. You can kind of see the way, I assume it's machine printed, painted. There was like little specks, they're dots, right? Like airbrushed maybe or something. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. You can trust me. That's why you should subscribe and watch this channel for only because I'm so good at words. This one just is so, I don't know. Who does it look like? It does not look like Tobey Maguire, not at all. This is the hair's messed up, like he just pulled his mask off head, but it's stupid looking, and they should have never made that. Close-up details on the hands, looking nice, good paint work, really good sculpt work. So as small as it is, this is like a 112 or whatever. So scale with detail is beautiful. We don't look at all the hands, are all the same. Let's look at the webby stuff. So I imagine this snaps on around the wrist. I could have read the instructions to know how to do that for sure. But that's the web. It's an interesting look. I don't know how I feel about it. It's pretty basic. It's obviously not what you're buying the figure for. But it's interesting. I don't know. It looks lacking in some way, and I'm not sure why I think that. So there is his mask pulled off of his head, and you would just take one of these open hands and put it around that, and there you go. He's holding his mask. This head sculpt and this body, that is why we are here. So he does have those little fists by default, so if you need to do some punching action, guess what? You can, because he's got fists. A kind of unusual shape. You get all these little cuts and stuff, and it's like, well, that's just weird. This is like Super 7 Nightmare, right? They don't like to put too many joints because it ruins the sculpt. And yeah, I can kind of get it. Oh, look at that. Oh, there you go. You got a nice kind of naughty boy. Your friendly naughty boy Spider-Man. Yeah, I love how easy it is to just. I love how easy it is to put into any kind of pose you would possibly want. It's just, that's my favorite part so far. So changing out the heads are gonna be pretty straightforward, but if you wanna do something with the neck, I thought, right? Couldn't you? I don't know. Anyway, so there you go. Tobey Spider-Man, looking awesome, and I can tell you right now that I want a duplicate of this head sculpt. I thought I would just do this one and have somebody paint it up and add a beard and make it look like me, but now I kinda wanna do another one of these just because it looks so much better. You know who this kind of looks like? Kind of looks like the actor that played in Ant-Man, the villain. He is the villain in the Ant-Man, and then he ends up being MODOK in the new Ant-Man. Yikes. But this is great. The Tobey Maguire lips, right? That face, that sculpt is fantastic. And now I really wish they would have gotten the approval to do the Andrew Garfield one, because, man, I'm sure it would have looked great like this. But then they lost the rights to it or whatever, so you gotta find somebody else that's making it his head sculpt. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, what's the best way to stick him to walls and stuff? I don't know, some kind of tack of some sort, but he has no peg holes. No peg holes, which, you know, whatever. You're not gonna put him on a stand. Why would you do that? But I love it. I love it so much. I'm a happy boy. This is very, very good looking, and it's really, as far as like a nostalgic thing goes, I mean, it very much has that Tobey Maguire about to fight Topher Grace look. No, that was the worst Spider-Man. I'm sorry, Tobey. I know you got hired to do stuff. You were super excited, I'm sure. I'm sorry that was not a great movie. Topher Grace, you know, he's good at some stuff. I didn't like him in that, and I definitely didn't like him in the Predators. So to get his little web action going on, you're gonna put that over the little peg. I love this thing so much, but they have done something incredibly stupid. You have this hand, with left one and a right one, which has the hole in it to hold his web so he can go swinging along, doing his Spider Boy things. But then the webs have these little hooks to go around this. There's no way to get it in his hand because his hand is closed. And because these have little things. What happened? Don't need no instructions to know how to rock.
Don't need no instructions to know how to rock.
And speaking of web stuff, like good sculpted webs, I do want to highlight my friend here, Hero HQ Hobby Hour. Look at how many different awesome web things he's done. Now these are cool. So you got short ones, medium, and super long ones, which are awesome. And they seem to function in the same way, where they're gonna go around the wrist with the little loop down there, which is great. So it'll work on pretty much any version of a Spider-Man. Great job. Very proud of you for that. It works really well for shooting out of his hand. So let's just put that on there instead. And I'll quit crying about it. It doesn't make it very tight, so it's easy to knock that hand off. But if you get in there just right, then now you have this good looking, like this is cool. I like this. Very nicely done there. So if you need your Spider-Man swinging into action or whatever, there you go. Not bad at all. It's fantastic, okay? So is it worth the price of this? Yes, I think so. I mean, it's obviously substantially better than a Marvel Legends figure. It's not even close. Hasbro just is such a joke these days. But this is a very, very cool figure. You're gonna get some odd things going on with the articulation or whatever, but it's gonna be probably, you know, the greatest articulation of any figure that has ever existed. I'm sure all the Spider-Men are like this. It would be interesting to compare it to anything Hasbro's done. Oh my god, you can get some like very, very weird. Get your arms T-Rexing, because he's a creep. Look at that. All right, anyway, thank you for watching this. Let's check out some poses, and I will see you next time. You'll see me next time, because I can't see you. I can join you in the comments.